So we've decided that today's podcast episode is
too loud.
Is actually going to be an ASMR podcast. Oh my God, we're all so dumb. Welcome back, guys, to the Brave Podcast. And I'm pleased to announce that we finally finished designing the merch designs, which I will release sometime in the near future. It's pretty cool. I think everybody kind of agreed that it looked pretty cool, pretty snazzy. So we're in the studio, just kind of hanging out. Mike is back.
Yay!
We went for lunch, and I had some steak, and you had, what did you have? The mango something?
Mango chicken.
And that looked really
very good.
Yeah, so was my steak.
Yeah.
A nice 13-ounce ribeye. Also, Mike has suddenly become infatuated with our haunted doll, wondering what her name is.
Listen, she's been staring at me since I got here. She's making me very uncomfortable.
She does that. That's what she did to me the first time. She peered right into my soul, and I knew something was up.
Gotta name her.
But yeah, we're not alone. We also got Moshi.
Hi, I'm here. I forgot my laptop, but
he's got his PlayStation.
I got my PlayStation. Hey, see, who needs a laptop when you got a PlayStation Portal? This thing. So hey, we're what are we called? We're called the Brave Podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on. Damn it. Every time.
Apple.
Rumble
and
Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Hey, thank you for coming back. And I really wanted this whole thing to be an ASMR podcast. That was a good start. That was really cool. I was gonna click my PlayStation buttons for you guys.
It barely even comes through.
No, it doesn't come out at all.
Oh my God.
Welcome back.
People who get recommended this video and start watching are gonna be like, what is wrong with these people? I love it, but what's wrong with them?
Completely twisted.
So Mike has been itching to come back on the show the last little while. Do you want to explain why?
Yeah, itching like a bad rash.
Ooh.
But why though? I
think I'm haunted.
Rash? You think you're haunted?
I think we're haunted.
Yeah.
Me and the wife, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think we got a serious problem.
It's scary.
It is pretty scary. So I was away, and all of a sudden I get a text message from Mike, and he's like, bro, you're not gonna believe this, but like something weird is going on. And he's like, he sends me these pictures. I have the pictures. We'll show them to you guys in about the next 30 seconds. But for context purposes, so you were at home in your apartment, oddly enough, and then all of a sudden something decided to kind of go after all of you, including your mom, right?
Yeah, it was weird. It was my mom wasn't home. We were watching we were trying to watch The Nun too. Yeah. So I had that.
That's kind of funny.
Good start. Yeah.
We didn't finish watching it because we were a little bit creeped out. We started hearing some noises in the other room, and for you guys, for everybody, I've always been skeptical, so this is not something that I'm always listening for or believe in right away. Anyway, we heard some noises. The wife, Kat, she got really freaked out. She's like, "Let's watch something else. I don't want to watch this right now." It was The Nun 2. We're gonna finish watching it tonight. Cat, we're watching it tonight. Went to bed, left the lights on because we were a little freaked out. It was really weird. It sounded like walking, like footsteps and just weird noises. Woke up the next morning, jumped in the shower, and I felt stinging on the back of my leg. So I looked to the back of my leg and I saw a cut. And then my wife came in the washroom, brushing her teeth, and I looked at her leg. She has bruises on her leg. And I'm like, well
just one leg, right?
Just one leg. And I'm like, this never happened to us before. I always see these pictures on YouTube and movies, scratches and bruises. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But when I saw the scratch and the bruise and what we were hearing the night before and how we felt sleeping with the lights on and all this, I'm like, this is weird. I got to talk to Angelo. Something's not right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think your mom was saying that she got like something kind of brushed her, caressed her. Was it like a full-on grab?
Well, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, she described it as a gentle grab.
At the apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the crazy part, the fact that it's an apartment. So you invited us over the other day. It was me and Anthony, you, Kat, and your mom. We were all there. And he's like, bring your ghost stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I bring all my stuff over and we start trying some things out. REM pod was kind of going off a little bit. I brought my camera stuff, like in case, things started flying off the walls and whatever. I'm like, well, we got to get that on camera, right? Yeah. So we started out using the new spirit box that I have, the IDC direct link. And it seemed like we were getting more responses maybe from like the environment. I mean, it is an apartment building, so the odds of, and it's, what did you say it was, like 70 years old?
70 years old, yeah.
It's old AF, right? Yeah. So the odds over the last 70 years, people have definitely died in this building, like 100%.
Yeah.
You don't know if anybody's ever passed away in your particular apartment.
No.
But interestingly enough, as far as we know, we had your mom's ex-boyfriend.
That's what it sounded like.
Who passed away like a couple of years ago. He got sick, had an accident or something like that.
He had a rough life. He was into drugs, a lot of drugs. Tried to clean up, got married, had some kids, got back into drugs. Had a bad work accident. He got burned.
Ooh.
Yeah, he suffered from a lot of burns. And then eventually I think he had a massive heart attack and he passed away just from everything, right? But we had accident come through, burn, his name came through. His name was Perry. Perry came, like the name through the ghost box. So quite coincidental, I guess.
I don't know.
Or is it?
Right, or is it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, have you guys ever had anything before in the place? Anything like, do you think this only started now after this movie? Or, maybe there was something before.
I don't know if it had anything to do with the movie. I think the movie maybe heightened our senses a bit because we were freaked out because we were watching a scary movie. But
so now you're kind of like
I think there's always been something. There's always been something. I tend to try to ignore it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're harmless, right?
Not harmless anymore.
I know.
Apparently
that's
not.
True.
No. Now that we talked about it, watch, he's gonna get like he's gonna go home and like cats like floating off the bed or something, like speaking in tongues and stuff like that.
Fucking speaking Latin.
But I don't know. It's kind of weird though. So I don't know if it's like kind of has the same effect. But I have a lot of times, because obviously I go out and do ghost hunting. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by Exploring with Angelo on YouTube, and we go to a lot of really haunted locations, places with demons, evil entities, yada yada. And I have sometimes comments here and there that kind of say something similar. What was that?
No, I didn't want the water bottle to make too much noise. So
okay.
Okay, hey man, you know what? We're committing. This is an ASMR podcast. I want to hear the water. I want to hear
gulp. Oh no.
But yeah, so sometimes I see comments of people like, "Oh, I was watching your video, and then all of a sudden in my room, weird stuff started to happen." Right? I don't know. I mean, electronically things can transfer, right? So
I believe it.
That's what I've been told from some psychic mediums. If you like take a picture of a haunted item, they can kind of feel things through pictures and whatnot. That's what I did with the doll.
Yeah.
I took a picture of her when she was at the antique store, and I sent it over to my friend Lay, and I'm like, is she haunted? And she's like, yeah, she's got a partial soul or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean, but okay, cool.
If that thing's not haunted, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not like Annabelle haunted, but some weird stuff's been happening in here. I've said it before.
There you go.
You saw with the light above this table will somehow turn itself on. And I remember the first time it happened, I messaged you. I'm like, why does it look like the sun is inside of the middle of the room?
And that was after you were away for a few weeks.
Yeah, I was gone. I'm like, damn, that thing's been on for like 2 weeks. It's going to be super hot, whatever. The bulb's going to be, oh, well, whatever. But yeah, I came back, turned it off. And then I went on another trip and then came back and it was on again. And I'm like, okay, there's no, like the first time, okay, maybe I forgot. But the second time I was positive I turned it off because I actually turned the lights out completely before I even opened that door to leave. Right. Mm-hmm. So there's no way that it would have been pitch black in here before I even stepped out of the door. So I don't know.
And we can control these lights from an app, but only if you're on the Wi-Fi. Right. So you couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it from home or anything like that. So it's really weird.
I've attempted to do it from home. It does not work. Yep. So I don't know if there's some setting or something that you can do that. But I don't know. I have no freaking idea. Yeah. But
weird.
I guess we'll show the photos of you guys, your legs.
Yeah,
Here we go.
This is crazy. So
this is directly from feetfinder.com.
Whatever floats your boat.
I mean, Mike does have some pretty sexy foot action going on there
not
right
a bad
now.
cafe.
Look at that. You don't even have to pay for it. You could just
That's
come
free.
here on YouTube.
Subscribe to the Brave Podcast.
Right.
Let us know that
Bruises
you
and
want
all.
more feet pictures. But on the left is Kat, which is Mike's wife. The bruise. And the bruises were just on one leg, right?
One leg.
Yeah. And then on the right is your leg.
Same day, same morning. Yeah.
So unless you guys had some crazy sex that night that you're just not telling us about, then
That's what I said. I'm like, did it get out of control? She's like, no, we were sleeping by 9. I'm like, fuck happened?
nobody knows, man. Nobody
I know I
knows.
had some bourbon, but not that much. Lord have mercy.
Maybe the demon want a little bit of action
Yeah,
too,
you never
right?
know, man.
Were those two legs beside each other? Yours and hers? Those same ones? Do you think?
What do you? Oh, like in? What do you mean?
So like, yeah. So if you guys are both in bed, were those two legs beside each other? You think?
I toss and turn a lot.
Yeah.
At one point.
Okay, so it could have been, but
Yeah.
Your leg beat the shit out of her leg.
I don't know, man.
and then her nail defended itself, defended the leg.
Yeah, right. When she sleeps, I'm different. When I sleep, I toss and turn, and I'm up. Whatever. She sleeps. She's quiet. She doesn't move.
Nice.
She's in one spot. So I don't know how it could have happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird coincidence or not.
Mm-hmm.
The
I don't
visitor,
know.
maybe.
I don't know. Whoever it is has a thing for legs. That's
Who
for sure.
knows? When around what date was that?
I
Do you know?
texted you the night after, which was
Didn't you say that it possibly something could have possibly touched your mom as well, but
Yes.
like in a not aggressive way?
Yeah, it was gentle. she said.
And-
November 7th.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
date
it.
that I have.
Yeah,
And the name Perry did come through.
it did come through.
Maybe
Why
he's
is he-
just like, he digs your mom. He's nice to her. And he's like, fuck these two.
Maybe that's.
Perry,
I mean, you make a good point.
fuck
But
me.
were you on good
Jesus.
terms with Perry?
I never knew him. She
Oh, okay.
dated this guy before she was married to my
Right.
dad, right? So I
Yeah.
wasn't
Got it.
around.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. We got some weird responses that night, though.
We had a
We had
couple
like
people come
what sounded
through.
like children,
Yeah.
other people. I don't know. It just kind of sounded very like
Some guy named George.
George. Yeah, I think we had a George at some point.
Or was it George?
I don't know. I think it was George.
Yeah,
I don't really
it sounded
remember
like
because we
George.
didn't record any of it. We were just kind of sitting there. Anthony was super high because he smoked a bunch of weed.
Yeah.
And he's just like laughing the entire time as we're doing the.
We'll do
the
another
spirit
one.
box.
We'll do a serious one. We'll turn off the lights.
Yeah,
We'll light a candle. We'll sit down and we'll do a serious one. You can set up the camera, whatever you want, and we'll see what happens.
To be fair, we were kind of chilling out, watching the hockey game.
Yeah.
Eating McKay pizza and patties. If you remember McKay pizza and patties.
Good times.
Yeah. If you're from Brampton, you'll know. You'll know all about
Shout out
the
to
McKay
Brampton.
pizza and patties.
And one time in the last year, I took my wife there after visiting my parents, and she was like, "We've been together for 7 years. Why have you only brought me here now? It is so good."
It's true.
In all honesty, it's really not good. And I don't want to shit on McKay
Right.
pizza. It's actual garbage. Like
Well, yeah,
they're
it's junk food,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It is
not
junk
like-
food, but it's like it satisfies the junk
Yes,
food craving
that's what
really
it is.
well.
It
Yeah.
It's
does.
large. It's cardboard though.
yeah.
Yeah,
but it's good.
100%.
Yeah.
It's almost like craving McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Yum, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good, but it's garbage, right? It is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best comparison, I guess.
Yeah.
Craving
Yeah.
McDonald's, which is just horrible for you. Don't
Yeah.
do it. If you're gonna eat McDonald's, just don't eat the bun. Have you ever done that? Just order a bunch of
eat the
cheeseburgers
bun.
and just eat the actual meat.
A&W.
I've never done that.
A&W.
Well, A&W does the lettuce wrap
Lettuce wrap,
burgers, which I think Wendy's does too.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Wendy's actually way better
Yeah.
than all the rest. So
Hmm.
yeah.
I
This
guess
might
they're all
sound
good.
weird, but Wendy's salads are really good. They're probably not good for you, but
I wonder if is it like sweet? Is that why? Is it
Wendy's,
the dressing?
it's like this taco salad or this Mexican chili taco salad. It's amazing, but
Mm.
you might as well eat a burger with the amount of calories in that thing, probably.
Sure.
You know what I never used to like, but I kind of like now? Taco Bell.
Oh, you know what I like from Taco Bell? The one
What?
thing I get from Taco Bell is the supreme fries.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put the sour cream and all that
And the
stuff.
cheese and stuff.
Yeah,
It was like how back in the day we used to go to Krabby Joe's
Oh.
religiously.
In
Are
Brownlee.
they all gone now, Krabby Joe's?
I think there's one in.
Bolton or something? I don't know if it's
Yeah,
still
I'm not
open.
sure. No, you know what's it called? Waterloo, I think.
Yeah, but
most of them turned into Lone Stars.
Is that what it is?
Star chain.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Is it Lone Star? Yeah.
I don't even know if Lone Star's any good. I never bothered to.
For the price, it's pretty good, I guess. Cheap.
I don't know, but yeah, we used to go every Wednesday night. So basically, when Mo and I were in Primerica, every Wednesday night we'd have a meeting. So we'd go to the meeting and then we'd drive back to Brampton, and we'd go to Krabby Joe's because we were broke as all hell. Yeah. Because you could get a half price appetizer as long as you bought a drink
after 9 p.m.
After 9 p.m.
That's right.
Yeah, and what did we used to get? Loaded cheese fries.
Loaded cheese fries. Okay, I think I know my order. Let me try to remember. Loaded cheese fries, extra ranch sauce, because it was the sick ranch. Yeah. I don't remember what it was.
Buttermilk ranch.
Yeah. Extra green onions.
Well, no bacon.
No bacon.
No bacon, and then Diet Coke. Or Diet Pepsi, whatever they had, right?
Yeah, a little aspartame, why not?
Yeah. So, and then I would get pretty much the same order, because there was a period of time where I didn't really like bacon for some odd reason. I don't know why. I think maybe it was just I just got used to you not eating bacon, so I'm like, I'm gonna just try not eating bacon, because everybody's always like, bacon's bad for you, don't eat the bacon, but eat the carbs and the sugar. The sugar good, eat it all. And then, as it turns out, bacon is actually pretty good for you as long as you're not eating carbs or sugar, right? So
carbs and sugar are the devil.
Evil, absolutely evil.
This is day 3 of keto, and I can't see straight. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Is it like you're actually actively doing it?
Yeah. As many times as I've tried to cheat, Serena has not let me. So yeah, it's been great. It's been so good. I love it.
Yeah, I'm back in keto now. I've been working out all week. And how about you, Mike? You've been doing some working out?
Yeah, doing some working out, doing some lifting. Started doing the push-ups in the living room.
Nice.
Very hard, very challenging.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Tough.
Except I haven't been working out, but yeah, it's just very challenging.
Yeah, but you lift the baby.
That's true. It's a bicep and shoulder and trap workout. That's true.
If you just take her and you just start doing some bicep curls with the baby in one hand.
A lot of dealing with a baby is a workout.
Oh yeah,
there's you can't stop her anymore, and you're doing trying to get her to sit still for diaper changes and stuff. Yeah. This is all workout. It's true. It's true. Thank you for making me feel better, guys. Thank you.
No problem. That's what we're here for, right? Positive reinforcement. But yeah, man, I miss Krabby Joe's, the good old days. So our bills used to come out to what, like $9 or something like that. Like, it was crazy. $9 every Wednesday. And then we became such good friends with the people who worked there. There was Andrew, and then I think there was what was the other girl's name? Jessica or something?
Yeah.
I think she moved to like Orangeville or something like that afterwards. But yeah, we became really good friends with them. And then so Andrew would, like, every once a month or so would pay for our bill for some odd reason. And then we would just leave him a $20 tip or whatever, which basically like compensated it. So it just kind of all balanced out at the end of the day anyway. And then we stopped going there because the owner was a dick.
Oh yeah, you remember that night?
Yeah,
there was a bunch of us there. So it was usually just the two of us, and then the group started growing. Just like our group of friends, more and more would just join us for whatever, for a night out, right? And one night there was, I don't know, 7 of us or something. It was a good group, and one of the guys. So we were all essentially getting something, but one of the guys was like, "No, I'm good. I'll just have my water or whatever." And the owner kind of went up to him. He's like, "You gonna have something, right? You want a bottle of water? That's what it was, right?" He tried to force him to buy a bottle of water because he was sitting there among a group of us who were all buying food and drinks, but this one guy,
not cool.
Not at all.
I don't know. It was pretty stupid. And then one person like piped up and was like, "No, he's not buying anything if he doesn't want to," right? Wow. I mean, like, I get it. Like, maybe you shouldn't go into somebody's, restaurant and
when there's a group of 7 people, I mean,
I don't think it's a big deal.
But
you guys are buying.
I mean,
stuff.
the only reason if it was like a one-off thing where it's like you've never seen these people ever before in your life, they've never been into your restaurant, why would you want to piss off the table who's literally there every single week?
That's right.
Like clockwork. We were always there. I don't remember us missing a Wednesday. Yeah. Unless there was like a family emergency or something, we would never miss a Wednesday. And then there was probably even other nights that we would randomly go as well. So it's like, Why did you choose this one particular moment to, show up at the table and then just piss everybody off just because one of our friends who had already by chance eaten and decided, no, he's not going to pay for a bottle of water when you have tap water, right? When the rest of us were all paying, like, why would you make a big deal of it?
Yeah, I don't think he even asked for tap water or anything. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't want anything.
Yeah, I think he was cool. He was just hanging out with us because we were there.
Yeah, right? And not to mention, I think we all bought food.
Yeah, we did.
And aren't appetizers shareables?
I guess.
So, like, who's to say that he couldn't have shared with us? And
I think there's definitely a reason why they're not in business for the most part anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Maybe because their food was garbage.
Clearly, their management was as well.
Yeah. That was no doubt. But then he ended up leaving. He sold the place and then sold it to some other guys. And then within like 6 months, it was gone. Because I remember we started going again because we heard there was new ownership. So we're like, oh, we'll give them another try. And then they didn't last very long. Yeah. It was like that Mosaic place. Remember that place?
Yeah.
That place was so
Brampton.
good.
Yeah.
You tried it?
No.
Where was it?
It was, Boverian Airport closed, kind of. Like across the street from there, there's the Shoppers Drug Mart. Mm-hmm. And in the same plaza, there was a place. It was called Mosaic. The sign said Greek food, but it really wasn't Greek food. It was Mediterranean, Middle Eastern type of dishes. Right. He did like the shistawuk and I think your favorite was the 4 cheese mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, it was not macaroni. It was a different type of pasta. Maybe penne, maybe. Probably. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was penne.
Yeah, but it was actually very good. And added some chicken in there. And
Yeah, that place was amazing. Nice. He used to make some seriously good food. He was accused of being a cokehead, but it didn't matter because the guy could cook.
The food's good.
Yeah, exactly.
How many good restaurants are around nowadays where there's not coke involved?
Oh, for sure, dude. I remember another place.
A good chef all day.
Yeah, I remember there was a place kind of close to my area. It was a pizza place, and there was rumors for years that they were like running Coke out of the back. And I'm like, and we're not talking bottles of Coke, by the way. We're talking about other stuff. Mm-hmm. Diet Coke. The kind that makes you skinny. But yeah, so they were like running whatever out of the back. And then it ended up closing and becoming something else. And it's weird. Now I never see any customers. It's kind of like that weird conspiracy theory. You know about like the mattress store conspiracies? Have you ever heard about that?
I feel like I've heard something. What is that?
So a lot of times they say that mattress stores are just fronts for like illegal business. Because I remember there was one particular street. It was a corner or something. I think it was in the US. I don't remember which city. But apparently there was one corner that literally had 4 different mattress stores. Right. And it's like, how many people in this area are buying mattresses? Right. Like, that just doesn't seem right.
Well, when we're done here, we'll hit up a Sleep Country and see what happens.
And you never see mattresses leaving the store.
No. That's the thing. Right. Yeah. It's like, how many people are actually going in to these places, right? Like, I know Brent's dad owns a waterbed store in Pittsburgh, right? And it's like,
I couldn't tell you the last time I heard the word waterbed.
Right.
And hold on, he's got a store?
Yeah, he's got a legit store. They've had it for years. So originally, I think he started out with like some other family member. This is Brent's father. Started out with another family member. They had a store in a mall. The mall eventually closed. And then they ended up opening another store somewhere else. I don't remember the exact street. It might be like...
People still buy waterbeds?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I remember back in
students buy waterbeds.
Is it cheaper? Like, I remember back in the 90s, waterbeds were like popular.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So recently,
I don't remember anything after that.
No, me neither. I remember my uncle had a waterbed, and it was a blast because you just like plop on there. And you're like,
I couldn't sleep on it. No. Straight panic attack, 1 in the morning. No waterbed, man.
You're gonna be thinking of that Freddy Krueger movie where I think the person gets like sucked into the bed by Freddy, and then all of a sudden like the blood comes blasting out. Remember that? I think that was a waterbed.
The sound of water all night. You wake up.
That's true. Every time you fart, it's just boom. What is this podcast.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I'm gonna turn the PlayStation on. I'm gonna start playing some RoboCop right now.
Oh my god! I mean, we do have some like more serious topics, but we'll get to those eventually. I was gonna say something. Oh, so Brent recently decided he was gonna do like a TikTok type of video of his dad's mattress store, because there was somebody literally on TikTok and they were like, so like whatever happened to all the waterbed stores? Do people even still buy waterbeds? So Brent's like, now's my chance, because his dad was always like, yo, make a video of my store, like try and advertise it for me, right? So he's like, Dad, like I need to do something entertaining. I can't just make a random video of me like exploring your waterbed store. It doesn't make any sense, so right? Random. There's got to be some sort of substance or context to it. So because the guy asked the question, Brent was able to go into the store and was like, in fact, there is a waterbed store and my dad owns it right here in Pittsburgh, and showed like the sign and whatever.
Awesome.
And apparently a bunch of people have actually like been calling. They're interested in buying products. I mean, they do other stuff too. It's not just water beds. They have like couches and futons and stuff, right?
That's cool.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. This guy makes a video and basically goes viral, and then everybody all of a sudden wants to buy a waterbed.
Yeah. Good.
I definitely got to get a new bed at home. I'm tired of mine. Mine is so messed up. So me and my cousins, we used to like wrestle on my bed for some reason, and it used to have like a stick right in the middle that would kind of keep it, you know, leveled or raised or whatever. But as we were getting bigger and bigger and slamming each other on this bed, eventually the stick broke. The screw, just like the hole where the screw would go into, just got all messed up.
How old is this mattress, Angelo?
I've probably had it since I was like 2 or 3 years old. It is time. No, I know it's time. I've been meaning to I just got to go shopping and pick something out.
Hey, like I said, after this, we'll go to Sleep Country.
We have a reason.
Listen, I want the mattress now. I want it today. I'm carrying it out of the store, throw it on top of the car, and we're good to go.
I want one of those Serta mattresses. I hear those are real nice.
Is that the one that... Oh, you know what ones I always remember from TV? The ones that are, is it Tempur-Pedic, where like one side lifts the top and the bottom? That's
and you could do like on the
other side.
Yeah, because it's like you could have 2 different settings, I think, right?
Yes, so, that's right.
Like when your wife is sleeping and you can just raise yourself up, you're watching TV or playing your PlayStation or whatever.
Or getting assaulted by the demon.
Or that, that happens once in a while.
Yeah, you may have went to sleep flat, but when you woke up, you're just like,
oh my god.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yep. Anyways, enough mattress talk.
Pillow talk.
So next. I got some crazy stories on here. Let me pull up the first one. So we'll get a little bit political probably towards the end of this, because there's like some interesting things that have been kind of popping up. I'm telling you guys, 2024 is going to be wild.
You think so? Can it get any worse than where we are right now?
Oh, it could get much worse.
Oh, come on.
But I think it's going to be more like a roller coaster ride. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy, weird legal battles. I mean, the world is already changing. We got litter boxes in schools. Right, we got costumes being banned. You can no longer wear. I don't know well, you probably didn't hear this because the last podcast is not up yet. But I know this kid who told me about how all costumes in his Catholic school have been completely banned.
Like you can't celebrate Halloween? Is that where that's going?
Oh, you can celebrate, but all you can wear is an orange shirt. That's it. Just an orange shirt. Yeah. So basically, the reason why is because if you dress up like Super Mario, that's racist.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this in Canada or the States?
No, this is in Brampton.
I gotta ask my nephews if they were able.
You should. Yeah, you should ask them as to what's going on. I used to love
Halloween as a kid, man.
I know.
I loved Halloween as a kid, dressing up. Even Valentine's Day.
You used to dress up on Valentine's Day?
No, I'm just saying. Right? Wait. I was the chubby cherub angel. My wife calls me cherub angel. It's very offensive.
Aww. She also calls you Michaela.
Yes, Michaela.
True story.
Oh, God.
But yeah, in terms of the costume thing, like, yeah, he told me one day, he's like, oh, because he always tells me, because he knows that we have like the show and stuff, and we talk about politics and everything that's kind of going on in Canada, United States, and so he brought it up one day, and he's like, oh yeah, you're not going to believe this, but they're basically banned. At first, it was an 18-page document of which costumes you could not wear. And then they just decided outright that, well, if we're just going to ban all of these costumes, let's just ban all costumes altogether, right? Because, and then he asked the principal, because I told him, I'm like, you should be piping up and ask them legitimate questions, make them sound just as stupid as they are, right? Like, make them answer their dumb questions based on their.
Is this a Catholic school?
This is a Catholic school.
Public school.
No, it's a Catholic
in
school.
Brampton.
In Brampton, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna start asking these guys questions, and so he ended up asking one of them, like, why can't we wear costumes? And he's like, well, for example, if somebody wears a Super Mario costume and another kid complains that it's racist towards Italians, right? And
I don't mind.
Right? Like, we're Italian, of descent anyways. Like, we don't, what the hell do we care?
Were you offended in the last episode when I was wearing a Super Mario and Luigi t-shirt?
I don't know.
He wouldn't know because it's not up yet.
I'm talking to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, hell no. Why the hell would I care? Super Mario's sick.
You're Italian. Yeah, I know.
Wasn't Super Mario created by Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he said
exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, first of all, Super Mario was designed by Japanese people.
Yeah.
And us Italians just embraced him as, like, part
great.
of Italian culture, because he, like, represents Italian culture, but in a funny, kind of comedic, cartoonish way, right? Yeah. I am not offended. So I don't know, but it seems like everybody's offended.
Boy.
But yeah, it was just something else, man. So I have this weird story. Let me bring it up here.
Is this from our favorite Twitter page?
It is, yeah.
Yes,
it's
it is.
quickly becoming my favorite Twitter page. Morbid Knowledge at Morbidful on X or Twitter.
All right.
On June 3rd, 2011, 20-year-old Indiana University student Lauren Spearer disappeared following an evening at Kilroy Sports Bar in Bloomington, Indiana. At 12:30 a.m., Lauren left her apartment with a friend named David Ron. The pair went to Jay Rosenbaum's apartment and met up with Corey Rossman, Rosenbaum's neighbor. Just over 1 hour later, she was seen entering Kilroy's bar. After leaving the bar less than 1 hour later, multiple witnesses recounted seeing Lauren and described her as being very intoxicated. Lauren also left her cell phone and shoes at the bar. At 4:30 a.m., I guess she got white girl wasted, as some would say. At 4:30 a.m., Lauren was seen leaving her apartment and hasn't been seen since. Where did she go? Apparently there's more knowledge. Or more info, not more knowledge. Open sesame.
So she left her shoes and cell phone at the bar.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit...
right? It says
weird.
One of the most covered unsolved cases in a college town. The disappearance of Lauren Spearer at Indiana University is still... Hey, stop trying to get me to sign up. Is still cold 10 years later.
Wow.
Junior high, blah, 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 blah. That makes her now 10-year disappearance even more baffling. Yeah, kind of weird.
Sad.
I don't know. It doesn't really say as much.
It's so weird.
It is weird. There's so many of these crazy stories. We went through a couple of them on the last show too. When
you don't hear about them much on the news, eh?
No. I guess because it happens so often. It just, to me, it reminds me of the Cecil. Remember the Cecil Hotel story where the girl, she was from Vancouver, went to California, was staying at the Cecil Hotel. And then all of a sudden, her body was found days later on the
Asian
roof.
Girl on the
Asian girl on the roof,
in the water tower. Yeah.
Because I think people started getting a weird taste in their water or whatever.
Oh God!
And there's that video of her trying to get out of the elevator. And it's someone was following her, but there was no one following her. It was very weird.
It was very, very weird. I'm trying to find more info on this, but it just says that she left her phone. Lauren's roommates meet up with her boyfriend to try and find Lauren. Her friends called to report her missing to the Bloomington Police Department shortly after that. Lauren's sister Rebecca called around to family to let them know that Lauren has been reported missing. Lauren's mother Charlene starts calling local hospitals while her father Robert calls her boyfriend, who is at the police station. Lauren's parents arrive in Bloomington the very next day. Yeah, it just says that Where the case stands today. Okay, so there was a little bit of an update. Lauren's family is still searching for her. Shortly after she went missing, Lauren featured in a segment of America's Most Wanted, which brought in 350 tips, but unfortunately no breakthroughs in the case. National pleas from celebrities such as Denise Richards and Donnie Wahlberg were made for anyone with information to come forward. Last year, TikTok surfaced to say that they had information on her disappearance. While nothing credible was found, Lauren's mom shared that she forwards all leads to authorities. So what if this girl was just like kidnapped and then just, thrown in, like trafficked, essentially?
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe she's just like locked up. So I saw this really, really weird movie recently. I don't remember what the heck it was called. I tweeted about it. It was so strange. It ended in the weirdest possible way. Let me find it here. So it was essentially about
Was the movie a true story?
I don't think so, no. It was just really strange, but like stuff like this legit happens.
Yeah.
Where is it? I gotta scroll down. Oh, here it is. Unchained. It's on Netflix. I think it just came out recently. Yeah. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but the story is just so fucked. So essentially this serial killer is going around obviously kidnapping women, and I guess that's just what he likes to do in his spare time. So he's a taxi cab driver, so for him it's easy. So what he does is he locks them in the car and then brings them to his house. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie and plan on it, but he basically brings them into the house and has his little way with them. Basically just ends up murdering them and I guess sleeping or raping them, if you will. But the main story is that he kidnapped this mother and her son and ends up killing the mother.
What's it called
front
again?
of Unchained.
Ethan Hawke? Or
maybe? I don't know.
Unchained.
I didn't look at the actors. I don't know actors by name, to be honest. If you said, Jack Nicholson, I'd probably miss that too. Like, wait, that was Jack Nicholson the whole time? But yeah, so he basically ends up killing the mother in front of him and then decides, well, I can't kill him because he's just a little kid. So ends up essentially keeping him around. But like at some point he tries to escape and he chains him up, right? And then the whole ending just gets like really, really weird. But essentially this kid is like now forced to live and work for this guy inside of his house. Like he does all the cleaning and makes all his food and gets him his drinks, does his laundry and stuff like that. And then eventually the guy tries to get this guy to be a serial killer like him, like to try and teach him in his ways. Right. Like, oh, you have to do this. But
you gotta wonder, there's probably a lot of serial killers out there that you have no idea.
100%.
A lot. Probably more so, I would think, in the States, just because population wise they're a lot bigger than us. But like that girl that went missing, who knows? Someone has her. Yeah. I think they would have found the body by now. No, she was dumped in a river. I'm sure when it came up.
Maybe they put her in a bathtub and poured some acid in there. Ugh. Like what was that TV show?
Breaking
Bad. Damn.
Sickos.
So graphic, yeah. But I mean, people do stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's not a normal thing, but it happens. So
sad.
Definitely sad. Yeah, they have lots of weird, crazy stories on this. So this one was freaking funny. Hang on, I gotta open this because Mo's didn't bring his laptop today.
I know. Oh my god! I brought the PlayStation instead.
So this one's really funny. So in 2013, a Texas man called Rogelio Andaverde was abducted from his home in front of his terrified wife by two masked men with guns. He returned days later unharmed. It was later discovered he staged the abduction himself just so he could out drinking with his friends. Oh my god, so good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's amazing.
The poor wife, though. Can you imagine?
Right? No.
He doesn't look like the type at all either.
So he staged his own kidnapping to get out of the house, reports the San Antonio Express News.
So hungover.
The 34-year-old was at his home in Edinburgh with his wife on October 4th, 2013, when two masked men with guns forced their way in around 10:30 p.m. and grabbed Andavere. His wife, Maria Hernandez, immediately called authorities and was petrified after having witnessed what she thought was the abduction of her husband, police said. We took this incident very serious because of the circumstances described to us by the wife, said Sheriff Guadalupe Trevino of Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. People don't just barge into your house and kidnap you for the hell of it.
Well, in this case, they did.
I guess in this case, they did. Search helicopters and a dozen deputies from the Department of Public Safety were called in to look for end of their... Damn. The search was called off after hours went by without any fresh leads. 2 days later, he showed up at his house and told his wife he'd been released by kidnappers. But a follow-up police investigation showed that he had set up the kidnapping so he could spend time with his friends and party. So good.
He is going down in history.
Oh man, dude, that's hilarious. Like, can't you get in big trouble for doing you're wasting police resources?
The bottom of the article there, it said he spent 19 days in jail.
Yeah,
for
misdemeanor, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He served 19 days, got a misdemeanor. Class B.
Just 19 days? Damn.
You figure all the resources, the helicopters, everyone searching for you, they could have been doing something else. You're out getting drunk. It doesn't look good.
Well, there was that other scenario of the, but that was more political. What was his name? Jussie Smollett. Remember that story?
I remember that sounds so familiar. I don't remember. I can't remember.
He got attacked by MAGA people or Trump supporters, and as it turned out, he basically set up the entire thing to make Trump look bad. Yeah, he was on Netflix shows and stuff like that.
About.
Oh yes,
I remember
by two guys. He was a black guy.
Yep.
Yes,
attacked late at night by two white guys or something like that.
They weren't even white guys. They were Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
There were two guys from Nigeria that basically he just paid them. Was like, hey, you're gonna hit me or whatever.
Okay.
And it's gonna be caught on camera because obviously MAGA supporters and Trump supporters run all over the city of Chicago chasing down innocent black men in the middle of the night because that happens all the time in Chicago, right? Give me a fucking break. But a lot of people, they literally made this such a big story because they wanted to make all the MAGA supporters and they wanted to make Trump and everybody look racist and evil. And then as it turned out, it was all a hoax. And it was really funny because there was a lot of people who called it a hoax. And there was a lot of people who were like, how dare you? It's racism or whatever. And then there was the other one, the NASCAR driver. I don't know if you remember that one. I don't remember the guy's name, but they literally called in the FBI because of a rope that was hanging from a garage, and they called it a noose, and it was nothing. It was literally nothing, but they made this big deal out of it. Literally calling in the FBI to research because he's like, somebody left me a noose in my garage or something, and it's like, no, dude, you're just full of it. You're just full of it. This one's kind of funny. You ever thought about adopting a baby hippo?
No, not at all.
Me neither.
Well, now
I'm just curious, right? So it says in 2005, South African man Marius, this is potato quality, this video, but look at this. This guy's literally almost borderline snuggling with a hippo.
Oh my God!
Adopted a baby hippo after rescuing it from a river. In this clip, they can be seen playing together. But 6 years later, after rescuing Humphrey, the hippo dragged him, Marius, into the river and mauled him to death. Oh no!
Come on!
Oh no! I guess it didn't work out in the end.
Damn.
Oh man!
Hippos are pets,
right? Dude, I know some people have wolves, all sorts of weird.
I want a wolf.
Weird creatures. I know there was a YouTube channel at one point. They had raccoons, I think.
That's weird. Raccoons.
And then I think the main raccoon that the channel was named after escaped.
I hate raccoons.
And he's like, I don't know. He's been planning it for months. He's been digging this little hole to get out.
Planning for months. He made his great escape.
There's just this lone raccoon out there somewhere.
Out to terrorize garbage cans forever now.
He's the trash panda. Oh my God. Some of these stories are just insane. What else do I have here? I kind of put everything in a weird order. So recently there was this mini documentary, and I don't remember who it was from. I think it was Tyler Oliveira. And the title, this was really funny, sort of funny, not that funny. But the title was the country in the world that made drugs legal, that made all drugs legal, something
Vancouver.
along those lines. Isn't that funny?
About Vancouver?
Yeah, he was literally talking about. So he went and he documented himself, basically like walking all over East Hastings. For those of you that don't know, East Hastings is, I would describe as like a 12 to 20 block neighborhood. This one long street. We drove up it. When we were there in Vancouver, because we just wanted to see for ourselves, because everybody in Canada now is starting to hear about, oh, well, you know, they legalized all drugs and you can basically just get whatever you want whenever you want, right? And I think he did a pretty good job documenting it.
Is he a YouTuber? Yeah. Okay.
He found it's Tyler Oliveira, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I remember him. when you were smaller. I was watching him.
Yeah.
But we, like you said, we drove through it. I think we drove through it twice when we were in Vancouver last year. Or was it this year? Last year.
This year.
Yeah. And it's horrible. Needles in the arm, nodding out everywhere. Cops are there, not doing nothing.
They can't do anything.
Can't do nothing. Tense. It's just something you would see in a movie, concentrated among maybe 8 blocks.
Wow.
Just complete, everyone stoned or cracked out. It's insane.
Yeah. So he went even a little bit deeper to document, like he did interviews with some of the drug dealers out there. And they were also being followed. They were being threatened. Like their lives, as they were filming this little segment, whatever they were doing, their lives were in danger. Like these people were literally, as they were walking up the block, one guy's like, I'm gonna effing kill you or whatever, as they're walking up the block, because these dealers were pissed, right? Because they know they were filming, taking photos, whatever. Local vendors were getting mad because they would go in and then they had their phone, because he records everything on his iPhone. So he would go into like the store and then start documenting the fact that the vendors have all the paraphernalia for sale on like the shelves and whatnot. And it was just, it was so bad. Like they were every area that they would go to, they'd find another person who was like either nodding out. They found people ODing. They would have to give them Narcan. They would make sure that obviously everybody in the area is like, you know, equipped with Narcan, which is like, I guess like an anti, if you do OD, like, I guess it's like, I don't even really know what it is.
It wakes you up, you said?
I don't know. It's adrenaline, I believe.
I think so.
Might be wrong.
Yeah. I could be
overdosing. Yeah.
Totally wrong, but I know it's something to do with, you know, people who, you know, do narcotics and OD and whatnot. But
do we have any idea why? I haven't watched the video, but do we have any idea why Vancouver did this, or East, whatever? Why they made drugs legal?
Well, they thought it would solve the problem. So what they were looking at, and this is the legislative portion of British Columbia, essentially decided they were going to legalize all drugs, because what they were doing was they were looking at other countries like, for example, Portugal, I think several other nations in Europe all did the same thing where they legalized it, but they went about it in a different way. They legalized drugs. However, their system was designed to rehabilitate people. So we will allow you to do the drugs, but at the same time, we're going to make you realize you have a problem and make you solve that problem. Sort of like, you know, somebody, you can go and see somebody. In Vancouver, they don't have an actual solution. They're only making the issue worse.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if you look at the statistics of people dying from overdoses in Canada are at an all-time high, right? Which was documented in this little mini doc from Tyler. And clearly this legislation that they passed was for political kudo points, right? As per usual, just like something else that recently happened over the last week. But yeah, like I said, it's not really solving the actual problem, right? You're not actually rehabilitating. So they're giving people these safe zones. Tyler went into these safe zones and was like, dude, this is horrible.
Nothing safe
right?
about it.
No, there was absolutely nothing safe about it.
We drove through. We didn't get out of the car. We just kept driving. Went down, came back again.
If I was brave enough that day, or actually felt like, but we were kind of like on the way somewhere anyway. So we didn't really decide to stop and document anything. But I mean, we were on vacation. I'm like, I really don't feel like getting stabbed in the arm with a needle or something today, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, dude, these people are like on hard drugs. You don't know what they're gonna do.
That's right.
Right. So it's just like when I go to an abandoned place and there happens to be squatters. It happens all the time. I've found tents, people living in abandoned hospital buildings, houses, all the time. And if these people are on hardcore drugs, you don't know what they're on. Yeah. You don't know. There was one incident, and I remember this clearly. I was with Mo, and we were in London, Ontario, and we were at the abandoned asylum grounds, and they had these more modernized hospital buildings as well. There was a bunch of homeless people that would constantly go in and out, and a lot of them were users. And I just remember it was really dark. We're standing at like this church building, which is kind of like in the center of the property, the old church from like the 1800s or whatever, completely abandoned. All of a sudden we hear this girl screaming and yelling. She's coming like across the property. She's coming towards us.
This is at night?
This is at night. Yeah.
Well, if that doesn't freak you out enough, that's...
No, she's just... But we could tell. We were like, dude, this chick's like really, really high, right? She's on something, and she's coming up, and she's all dirty. She's a mess. And all she's wearing is underwear and a shirt, right? And... she's coming towards us, and she's like, that fucking asshole put jibs in my whatever, in my crack. I don't really know what, I think jibs is like, I think jibs is like slang for fentanyl or something, right? So he laced it with whatever. Now she's all like, you know, having a really bad hardcore trip, right? But it's a constant problem, right? I have a friend in New York recently. There was, so they like to smoke weed, and basically the, what do you call them? The stores that sell like dispensaries, right? So the dispensary got caught for having weed that was laced with fentanyl. So he had like a big stash, and he had to literally throw it all in the garbage, right? And dude, that's just weed. That's kill you. Yeah, fentanyl will definitely kill you. Like we know, if we were talking earlier, we're like how many people we know who's had an issue with that stuff.
I just found jib is another word for meth.
Meth. Okay. There you go.
Yikes.
So there was something in her jib, or they put jibs in her crack or something, right? And she didn't appreciate.
It's definitely not candy.
No, no, definitely not.
No.
But yeah, that documentary, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly, highly recommend it. It's really short. I think it was like 20 minutes or something like that. So, and he does a lot of like interesting stuff, because recently I've been looking into doing like extreme travel type of stuff, which I'll probably start doing in like January. Maybe I'll like fly to Nunavut or something.
Nice.
And I'll go to Lugtuk Nunavut. Did I say that right?
I have no idea.
Me neither. All I know is I saw this movie called The Grizzlies, and I'm like, yeah, Nunavut would be a really fascinating, messed up place to go and see, right?
Why messed up?
Well, I mean, there's nothing there.
Okay.
There's little tiny villages.
There's mines, and it's probably most of it.
What?
There's mines, and that's probably most of it.
I don't even think there's mines.
There is. We ship equipment out.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are some, but
sure.
I guess it depends on where you are. It's like a lot of, indigenous people live up there. Life's hard. It's expensive, right? Like a case of beer up there is probably like $200.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Remember, we spoke about somebody who's like a taxi cab driver up there at one point, and how they were making like $200,000 a year as a taxi cab driver.
I forgot about
Reason why, I guess, is because there's so much demand for the job. Nobody wants to do it, so the one guy that does do it makes all the money, right?
$200K a year, I'll drive a taxi.
Yeah. But I mean, keep in mind that the cost of living is really, really expensive, unless you're willing to eat seal, right? Which...
No.
No. You wouldn't try seal?
I would try it, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to survive off of it.
Maybe if we just pretended it was like a piece of sushi or something while we're in Vancouver. We should have checked. We should have looked. Do you have seal by chance? Hang on, let me go to the back room.
I've ever tried seal.
I know I haven't.
I don't know. We've ate some weird things.
I've tried shark.
Okay, shark I've had. Shark's not bad.
Yeah, shark was pretty good. I've had eel, shark, that kind of stuff. Cow tongue.
Yeah.
But that's like a normal whatever kind of. People eat weird stuff. Anthony likes to eat
brains, like lamb brains.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And eyeballs.
Apparently, it's really, really good.
Yeah, cook the head in the sauce.
That's common in the Middle East.
Yeah. I mean,
like lamb head and stuff.
Lamb in general out there is like pretty common.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you were telling me there was the biggest cocaine bust in Toronto.
Cocaine and fentanyl. I think. Don't quote me. I don't know if you want to pull it up, but it was
find it.
Record-breaking for Toronto. 90 million, I think, of powdered cocaine, fentanyl.
Oh, here
crack.
it is. Yeah,
there it is.
Okay, who do we trust here? We got City News. We got
Project
CBC.
Finito.
Definitely not giving my money. Not giving my click to CBC. We'll go with
Toronto.
City News. Sure, why not?
$100 million in drugs. Look at that.
Toronto police sees nearly 100 million in cocaine, crystal meth, and staggering record drug bust. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Toronto police announced the result of a major investigation that say resulted in the largest seizure of illicit drugs in the force's history. Police say the investigation, dubbed Project Finito. That's funny. Saw officers seize nearly 1 ton of cocaine and crystal methamphetamine worth an estimated $90 million and resulted in 7 people being arrested.
Yeah.
Wow. The drugs were destined to the streets of Toronto and beyond and would have inflicted... I don't understand this stuff, man. Like,
look at it. That's a lot of drugs.
Dang.
Yeah.
You know what the creepy thing is?
What?
It probably didn't even make a dent.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Didn't even make a dent.
100%.
That's sad.
Yeah,
part
true.
of it.
It was like kind of like back in the day when Escobar was around. Like they would seize some shipments here and there, but it literally did nothing.
No.
That's majority of it still would make it to the US and then get distributed. And of course it would come up towards, Canada and whatnot. Because there is like an area, and most people don't realize that there's an area of Canada there's no like actual security fence or anything. Roxham Road. So a lot of illegal immigrants come up that way, or
in Quebec.
Drugs. Yeah, it's in Quebec. Yeah. So I don't know why they don't just build a fence or whatever.
Because we're Canadian, we're too nice, man. Come on, you can't do that.
But then the problem is like these people from like South America, Middle East, Africa. They come to Canada not knowing what to expect, and when you cross that part into Quebec in the middle of winter, a lot of them, they're crossing like barefoot, they're ill-equipped, and then, they're freezing to death trying to go, because it's like a densely wooded area that they're getting there, that they're trying to go through. Yeah. So it's a bit of a problem. I do know, me and my friend got into a conversation about it the other day. Vivek Ramaswamy, who's running for the Republican Party in the United States. I don't know if you've heard of him or from him. Really good.
Is he the Indian gentleman with the long, fluffy hair?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You've heard him speak before?
Yes. Yeah.
He's very smart, and he speaks like this, and he's always telling people off because he's really, really smart and he's good at it.
He's entertaining.
He's very entertaining, but not only entertaining, but he's actually intelligent.
Yeah.
When he has a conversation, he kind of speaks like this with no ums or buts. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stall. He just is able to carry on a conversation, explain everything in perfect detail, so on and so forth. Just like that. So, definitely if you're American, look at Vivek Ramaswamy.
I gotta find that.
If Trump wasn't in the running, I think he would be the man. Yeah, he would. Some people are arguing Nikki Haley, but I feel like I've heard a lot of people explain that she's too much of a war hawk. She sucks at explaining things, and she said some weird comments when they were at a debate recently, which in my opinion, Vivek absolutely destroyed all of them, because at one point he even says something along the lines of, we don't want 2 Dick Cheneys with high heels winning for the Republicans. So he was referring to Nikki Haley, and then the other one he was referring to was Ron DeSantis,
because he's wearing
because apparently he's got high cowboy boots. Like it's people
Wow.
So there's this understanding and belief that people would much rather vote for somebody who's taller. So because Ron DeSantis is not quite that tall naturally, I think he's like 5'10", 5'11", maybe even a little less. I don't know.
How tall is Biden?
He's over 6 feet, I think,
okay.
from what I've heard anyways. Okay. But I mean, he's always hunched over, so he loses a couple inches. I mean, that's the way he walks, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's no
falling down.
Yeah, there's no denying that. Joe Biden is
old and decrepit.
He's old and he's falling apart.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's pretty scary that he's got, access to the nuclear codes, right? Oh, we're going to bomb Iran. No, sir, you're supposed to bomb like another country. Oh, no, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to bomb Australia. And it's like you meant to bomb like Iraq or something, right? It's like, what the hell? But yeah, so there's this thing going around that Ron DeSantis, he's wearing these like cowboy boots, and inside of the cowboy boots, apparently there's like a platform sort of thing, like built into the boots.
And he did this on purpose to make himself look taller? Was that the whole thing?
Yeah. But
and
now,
he didn't think no one would catch on to that?
Now people are starting to notice, and instead of making himself look taller, he's making himself look foolish. And then, do you know who Patrick Bet-David is?
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, come on.
That's some nice heels there, bro.
It looks like you can see the way his foot looks like it's in. I mean, this is not confirmed. It just looks pretty evident that that's what he's doing. And Patrick Bet-David had him on the show recently, because Patrick Bet-David lives in Florida, and he had him on the show, and he basically asked him about these boots, and like he denied it and whatever. He's like, no, it's just a normal pair of boots, blah blah blah. But it's funny though, because everybody
it might be.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. But
I've
it's
seen
like
some men's cowboy boots that are very
like they
thick
do
heel.
Yeah, they have a heel on them
for sure.
But it's not just the standard heel. What they're saying is there's something inside of the actual boot as well that's making him an extra 2 to 3 inches taller, whatever. So he's basically like walking in stilettos. Hence the reason why. Yes, it's called being short.
to be honest, every picture I'm finding of him,
like
it's he's in the same boots.
Oh my god!
Right? It might be his everyday boot.
I don't know.
Well, that's what he claimed. He claimed it was just a normal standard boot, but I don't know, man. Based on what I saw, it looked kind of suspicious. I was gonna segue into something, and I don't remember what it was.
Just to go back for a second, Wikipedia says in 2023 the Roxham closing was closed. The Roxham crossing was closed permanently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So they did finally deal with it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
After more than 100,000 asylum seekers passed through it.
Right. Yeah. There was a bunch of people who were all kind of just waddling through. Yeah. No one really cared. Oh, this is what I was going to segue into. So people are finally starting to get it that Joe Biden sucks. So I've saw
just
a video.
Now?
Yeah, dude, like within like as of yesterday. So
what the fuck took you guys so long, man? Holy shit.
I know people have been getting canceled and crying about all this stuff for like the last few years, and we're like, no, don't vote for Biden. What are you doing? And then y'all voted for Biden, and now you're complaining that Biden sucks, right? And it's like, it's this old lost man who has no idea where he even is or where he's going, to the point where it's just consistent now where you see these gaffes when he's either speaking, the shaman under pressure. Which
that was good.
Did you ever hear that? Shaman under pressure. Shaman under pressure. It's like, what the hell did he just say?
And he falls asleep during like serious speeches and stuff. Dude. You see his eyes banging.
Old. Yeah, he's like, old, man. Like, I feel bad for him because he was like kind of put up to it, but it's like, dude, Dr. Jill, what are you doing? Like,
what's that, Dr. Jill?
His wife. She's a doctor.
Yeah, she's got like a doctorate or whatever, but she's really just a teacher. She's not actually like a medical doctor or anything like that. Doctor. But she goes by Dr. Jill Biden. Of course. Yeah, of course you got to use the name, and we just, we'll go by crackhead Hunter Biden at the same time, right?
Well, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
She needs to keep him in office so she can pay for his son's bills.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, over the past few months, there's been more and more. And I remember having arguments about this because they were just like, oh, the Hunter Biden laptop thing was a hoax and everything about him is a hoax, blah, 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 blah. Now they're starting to follow the paper trail, and they're starting to find checks that were paid by Joe Biden to his brother, kickbacks from Hunter Biden.
They found cocaine in the White House.
Couldn't figure out, with cameras all over the building, they could not figure out who it belonged to.
Was it Thanksgiving? No, it couldn't have been, because the American Thanksgiving is coming up. It was some long weekend recently where Hunter Biden and his mom were on the porch of the White House, and he looked obvious that he was tweaking. like sweating.
This was Hunter, you mean, right?
Yeah. You can find the video if you look it up, but he looked tweaking hard, and she looked like really annoyed.
This was Thanksgiving?
No, it was before Thanksgiving. I can't remember what holiday it was.
I was going to say maybe he had too much turkey and he was just sweating. Yeah, he had the turkey-itis.
The meat sweats?
I mean, if you eat too much meat, you'll start sweating, right? But
he looks like a hard tweaker.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's literally videos of him like doing the most ridiculous of things, right? And it's like, I get it. Like, you want to party and have a good time. Fine, but maybe don't film it and have evidence in the Apple cloud of you doing the things that you're doing. Like it's pretty bad. But in reference to what I was saying, as people are starting to figure this out, I don't even know if I could play this because this is from Michael Rappaport. I don't know if you've seen this guy before. He was an actor back in the day.
Comedian.
Is he not anymore?
He still is.
I think he still is.
Yeah, he's on what's that show on Netflix?
Oops. What's this?
He was the dad in Atypical.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Atypical.
Did you watch the whole series?
Not the whole thing.
Okay.
No.
I finished it.
Talk to me
later.
Is it good? Like I liked it, but I didn't get too deep.
I liked everything except for the last season. Last season sucked ass.
Yeah,
it was terrible. Good show.
Yeah.
So they're now calling for Slob Dick 2024.
What is that?
He's basically saying Trump.
Okay.
He's not a Trump. He's not,
he
dude.
Hates
Trump.
Okay.
He was always against, right?
Yeah.
He's a hardcore Democrat, right?
Oh yeah. He was like, and he swears like a lot. Like he's a hardcore. I don't know where he's from.
Jersey or something.
Yeah,
he's got
something like that.
Jersey.
He's got that thing, maybe New York or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not really too sure. But ever since I can recall seeing him talking about politics, he was always like yelling at Trump and calling him names and this and this and that, which I remember Robert De Niro doing too, which is very unfortunate because I actually really like Robert De Niro's work. Like I literally have the Casino posters somewhere in here. I think it's on that side. Michael Rappaport, as long as I can remember over the last while, has been yelling nonstop about Trump, but he's finally changing his tune, which is kind of funny.
Oh, is he really? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's more than one video of it too.
Climb in public in front of crowds of people, rip down UN flags, rip down Israeli flags, rip down American flags on Veterans Day. When the economy is the way the economy is, when I'm paying fucking mortgage rates up, I mean, I'm getting, forget a colonoscopy. You don't need to get a colonoscopy. Go buy a house. The interest rates, go buy a car. And I know Smoking Joe has done some things I know. But I'm telling you right now, go buy yourself, go check what it's like to buy a car. Buy a house. The money. The fucking chaos in this country. The chaos around the world. If it comes down to pig dick Donald Trump and Smoking Joe Biden, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Voting for pig dick Donald Trump is on the table. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
I'll still call him slob dick Donald Trump.
Yeah, whatever. Do whatever you want.
And all that. But we need to get this whole fucking situation under control.
Yeah, well, maybe you should have thought about that before you went and voted for Joe Biden.
What's this guy's net worth?
I don't know.
Let's Google it. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
He's complaining about mortgage rates and he's a celebrity.
I mean,
I'm a little triggered right now.
I think at this point he's kind of like a B-list actor, so he's really not like, he's never really been in anything super big, or when he was in Friends for a period of time.
His net worth is $8 million.
8 million?
8 million, yeah.
8 million realistically
it's
as a B-list celebrity is not that much, right? So, I mean, plus if you're living in New York City, it's definitely not that much. So, but I think he's starting to kind of realize, and maybe it's because as a millionaire, he probably still talks to people who, are just normal people who are not maybe even worth nearly as much as he is. Maybe have a net worth of like, $500,000, $1 million, or maybe not even that much. Maybe they're just like, his normal friends, right? But the problem with online net worths, a lot of times it's just not accurate anyways. Right. So maybe he's worth nothing. Maybe he spent all his money. Who knows?
Why does he call him Smoking Joe? How did Joe Biden get that nickname? Smoking
I don't know.
Joe?
I think it's just a nickname. I mean, what does Pig Dick Trump mean anyways? It literally means nothing.
But at least Sleepy Joe, we understand why.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he just said it. I think he's just trying to be, just the way he speaks. He's always kind of like very condescending. He likes to use certain terms that will try and insult people. Right. Like, I don't know. But it's just funny to me how now finally, after all this time, it's taken people so long to kind of realize what is going on out there and that they made a huge mistake. Like, I know people personally who voted for Joe Biden, for example, or even let's say Trudeau or Jagmeet here in Canada, but couldn't explain why ever. Like, they had no explanation at all, right? And I a lot of the time it comes down to the way the media operates, is that the media is not really telling 100%. The truth. You got to go and find sources in independent media, things that are actually capable of properly fact checking things. I have this argument all the time with people because they're always shooting from their asshole.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing.
And they have absolutely it must hurt. Absolutely. It must burn, right?
You know what they say? They say, it's better than the alternative.
I hate that.
But then it's like, which means what it means is they don't know. Exactly. They don't know. It's just like, I just know what I'm looking at on whatever news channel.
Do you think Trump
will win? This is better.
Do you guys think so?
Trump?
If he runs, do you think he's got a shot?
Oh, hands down.
Is it going to be Biden versus Trump? No,
most
Biden.
Likely.
Yeah.
That's debatable. A lot of people, and I think this is why the Democrats are turning on Biden all of a sudden, because they know that Biden is a shitty candidate. He won the first time because there was literally no one else. And a lot of people would have literally voted, and this is not my term, this is actually from Tim Pool, but a lot of people would have literally voted for a ham sandwich or this singular piece of paper versus Trump, because all they constantly heard from 2016 to 2020 was Trump bad, orange man bad, he's horrible, he's racist, he's a misogynist, he grabs people by the you-know-whats, he does this, he did that, I remember having conversations with people and they were like, oh, he keeps a copy of Mein Kampf next to his bedside. Mein Kampf is Hitler's book that he wrote years ago. It's called Mein Kampf, which means my mind, essentially. Stuff like that he keeps a copy of Mein Kampf at his bedside, according to his ex-wife, because nobody's ex-wife has ever made up a lie about their ex before, right? That's obviously accurate information.
I will say, when Trump was president, we had a lot less problems in the world.
Oh yeah. I mean, we didn't have COVID yet, so that was one thing. But
I don't think he could have done anything about that. But I mean, world conflicts, Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Like, just based on the fact that there was significantly less, there was at least the aim to have less war, right? There was no new wars at the very least. He was actively trying to get out of Afghanistan, which was a start, right? And when they were in wars, he would actually say the real reason why they were even there, right? Oh, it's for this reason, it's for that. But he was telling the truth. And everybody's like, holy shit, did he actually just tell us they went there for oil? Because no one else ever said that. They went in there to liberate the country or whatever it was, right? Like countries like when they went to war with Iraq, Afghanistan, for example, it was to liberate the country. Totally has nothing else to do with anything else at all, right? Just like Ukraine. The only reason that we spend billions and billions of dollars with Ukraine is because we have a vested interest in what Ukraine has to offer. Apart from that, it's not to save their democracy. Their democracy is already a sham anyways to begin with. Zelensky's out there blocking all the other parties from being able to make any sort of decision. So what democracy? There is no democracy. It's a corrupt country. It doesn't exist, right? I mean, our countries are corrupt too, but not on that level, right? We still have some sort of, safety net in our own countries that are kind of preventing us from even getting that close. So I don't know. It's stupid, but it's funny how like the people who were the most vocal and anti-Trump back in the day, are now finally coming around and speaking the truth, just like this guy, for example. But like I said, I it's complicated because a lot of Democrats do not want Joe Biden to run as the primary. They don't want him to run for president again. They would much rather have somebody like Gavin Newsom, who also sucks. But, you know, at least that might improve the economy in terms of hair gel, because Gavin Newsom just wears a lot of it. But like, he's not a very good, I mean, look at what he's done to California. It's a shithole, right? I won't go, people ask me, oh, when are you going to go to California? When are you going to go to, you know, Portland, Oregon? When are you going to go to Seattle? And it's like, I would love to go to those places, but I would much rather not have to deal with their politics, Antifa, riots, being mugged, robbed.
A lot of celebrities leaving LA too.
Yeah.
Left and gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
they're
think
leaving
Texas
for
is
Texas.
the next LA. Yeah.
I mean, Joe Rogan kind of started that whole thing.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
one of the very first big ones to end up in Austin, right? And then a lot of other people followed suit. A lot of other people went to Florida. Don't blame them. Nice weather all year round. No real winter. You're right by the ocean. I wouldn't mind waking up seeing palm trees every day, right? So, yeah. But
you're not going to miss the winter? Not going to miss the Toronto snow?
Oh, totally missed
Come
that.
on.
I mean, if I liked the winter, I would have just moved to Alberta a long time ago, right? Right, Mike?
Alberta
During the winter is
I have a soft spot in my heart for Alberta. I do.
And that's the thing. It's like, it's such an affordable place to live for Canadians.
And I love the winter, so I don't mind.
But
I
do
like dark and dismal. Okay, I'm weird.
just like your heart,
That's right.
right?
Dark
But like
and dismal.
minus 40 degrees.
But a lot of people don't know Alberta apparently is like, or Calgary, I should say, has the most days of full sun in Canada.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because I guess the sun. Well, because it's more like desert, kind of.
It's dry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they don't really have like clouds.
Very dry. Yeah.
Like when we were there,
Little
the
humidity.
sky was usually pretty clear for
Yeah.
the most part. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Doesn't really get like dark and gloomy. Well,
No.
during the summer, anyways.
I
But
like dark and dismal, so it's okay.
I mean, do you really want to deal with minus 40 though? Like that's
People
That's
stay inside
horrible.
their homes for weeks at that point, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Habib said it was like 3-4 weeks
Yeah,
usually,
of
right?
deep cold.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it never usually gets really too hot.
No,
Like when we were there, I think it was what 28, 29, full sun, the day of the
Calgary
stampede, which was
Mhm.
fun. So
Yeah.
we gotta make a plan maybe to go back sometime soon.
Yeah, it's coming next
Yeah.
July.
In the meanwhile, I guess we got Italy first, right? Or is that after?
After Scotland first.
Oh yeah, you're going to Scotland.
Scotland,
Yeah.
London, England, maybe Paris and Italy.
Mhm.
It seems like a lot, but
It is a
like
lot.
it's a lot like moving around. I get
Yeah.
it, but they're so close in proximity. You hop on a train, a $60 flight, you get across the
Yeah.
yeah. It's not bad.
Europe's good for that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, easy to get around. I'm trying to see if there's another video from this Michael Rappaport. Or was that the only one that he knew, or that he said? I don't know. I think there was like 2 of them, but I just thought it was pretty funny because I'm like, oh, this guy's like actually changed his tune.
right.
Oh yeah, so speaking about the other thing that happened in Canada, apparently they reversed the bill on single-use plastics.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video this morning about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, boys.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I never understood this. They wanted to, and I didn't know too much about the bill, but over the last, I don't know, 2 years or something, we've lost almost all of our plastic straws at like any outdoor, restaurant or whatever. So they all changed over to paper straws and paper utensils, forks and knives that are made of that stuff. I don't get it.
But everything else you buy is in plastic.
I'm holding like
Water,
we're
your
buying
groceries
bottles
are
of
wrapped
water.
in
don't
plastic.
you remember
the grocery-
originally the paper straw was literally wrapped in plastic at some point? So it's like, what is even the point?
I like plastic.
I mean,
I don't mind a little plastic.
why, you don't like paper straws?
No. especially when you're having
do it. No, you've committed. You gotta commit now. Do it.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but
when you're enjoying a nice drink like we just were before we came here, and the paper straw starts breaking down, and then it tastes like you got it in your mouth. Who gives a shit? Just give me a plastic fucking straw.
Yeah, exactly. I remember hearing somebody, I think they were, I don't know where they were, Texas or Florida or something, because they started doing it there too. And I think they were in the airport, and all they had was these paper straws. So they ordered their drink, and the lady comes to bring the drink, and she's holding the paper straw. She puts it down, and she's just like, I'm so sorry.
Why? Just it's a paper straw.
It's a paper straw.
Oh god,
they're horrible. They just fall apart, and I mean, you're just killing more trees at this point. I think it was more for like political points, because at some point they were talking about saving the turtles, right? Because there was a famous video of the turtle getting the straw stuck in its nose, right? Which sucks. But first of all, who the hell's going out there throwing straws in the ocean anyways? Like, why are you dumping? I hate that. I really hate that. Bothers me. Like people who go and dump nasty stuff. Yeah. I remember back in, I don't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. Mo and I went to Puerto Plata in Dominican Republic, and we went by the ocean, and we were just kind of standing there, and the amount of trash that was all like floating up right in the ocean. I'm like, yo, y'all are dirty. Right? Like you're just messy people. Guess what? The most common thing that I was seeing made of plastic floating in the ocean. Can you remember what that was back in 2020?
Don't tell me what I think. Oh,
masks.
Yeah, it was the masks. Oh, there was like probably hundreds of them just floating there in the water.
This was during COVID you went?
Yeah. So Mo was in the process of buying his vacation home. Hence the reason why we ended up going. So,
is that garbage from them or washing up from?
I don't know. I would assume it was from them, because it looked like parts of the beaches were kind of like littered. I mean, they don't really have like beaches right there. They're like little kind of like sand dunes, whatever. But there was just a lot of trash, and a lot of it was masks, because at the time, Dominican Republic had a mask mandate for locals. If you were foreign, you didn't have to abide by any of their rules.
Wow.
But sorry?
Wow.
Right. But at the time, their mask mandate was if you leave the house, you have to wear a mask. So everywhere we were going, we would see people like on scooters and their motorcycles and stuff, and they're two people and they're both wearing a mask, or even by themselves on their little scooter, wearing a mask, whatever. They would walk around. And then we started noticing that, like, if we would go to like a resort, they'd be like, oh, you have to have your mask on just as long as it's on your face. So it could be like looped around your ears and then like under your chin. As long as it was on your face, they would say okay. Over here it was a little bit different. Over here it was like, if it was like a nostril was showing. Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
When you'd get yelled at because like your nostril's out?
Yeah.
It's like, your nose! You're gonna kill everybody! Those were good times, man.
Yeah, were they? Yeah.
They were great times.
because I would just laugh at those people. I'm like, y'all have lost your fucking minds. Yeah. Like, if you're yelling about somebody over a nostril, you have lost your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Especially because masks didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all of that stuff. Apparently there was an Osama bin Laden letter to America that's been resurfacing on TikTok.
I heard about this.
Which is kind of crazy. And I've been kind of hearing the two sides of like about it. Right. And I get it. A lot of what he was writing was like, oh, you know, you've been invading us, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you've been basically effing with us. So now we're going to F with you, sort of thing. Yeah, but the funniest thing that people have been pointing out is that a lot of the ultra super far lefties are in full agreement with Osama bin Laden. But the funniest part is that he was very anti-gay. Right. So it's like, so wait, you agree with this man
on one thing,
but he hates you because you're gay or trans or whatever it might be. So do you not understand yet that this dude was an asshole? Like,
so this was just like a hate letter someone found from years back?
I think so, yeah. I didn't really have a chance to look too much into it. I'm gonna probably
trying to find. You know what? I looked once and I tried to find it, but I still can't.
Yeah. It's definitely out there, because I know a lot of other people were on other podcasts and stuff were talking about it, and I just really didn't have time, because yesterday I was busy documenting that house that I'm planning on buying. So I've just been busy with that.
Buying it.
Well, I'm trying to. So it's we've called it the abandoned witch's house for a very long time. And every time I go and investigate there, it's become pretty obvious that it's very, very haunted. And the opportunity came up with our mutual friend, who I will not say the name of, so don't try searching him up because I'm not going to say the name. But he's like, yeah, you could take the house, just move it somewhere, whatever, right? So that's basically what I'm trying to do. So I got to find a piece of land, find somebody who may be able to move this thing, see how much it's going to cost, and all that fun stuff. And then I might restore it, maybe turn it into like an Airbnb or something. Then we can all go hang out.
Haunted Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fun place.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, tons of fun. Yeah, we'll get possessed while we're there.
I've been possessed while I was there. It was lots of fun. Yeah, I don't remember any of it, but it was a great time.
That's good. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, just like getting yelled at by the mask people.
The what people?
The mask people. So I remember, back to the mask thing, but this is just a funny story. I remember back, this was probably about a week before the mask mandates like ended in Pennsylvania. I was in Pittsburgh, so I'm hanging out with Brent, and I remember there was this near the Dave & Buster's, there's like this whole shopping strip over there, and there was this random store, and it sells like soda, like root beer, pop, all this different flavored soda, old brands and stuff like that are very hard to find. So we're in there, we're looking around. They have a bunch of like random collectibles, knickknacks, signs, whatever, things like that. And I think the mask was like just below my nostrils. And I look over, and the lady at the counter, keep in mind that she's like probably 15, 20 feet away from us. And I could see her staring, just staring into my soul, right?
Oh, man.
So I pretended not to really notice, although I had noticed. And I'm just like, okay, I just want to see if she says anything. Because I'm like really far, and it's just me and Brent, right? Like if we were going to give each other COVID, it would have happened already from making out before that anyway. So
Exactly.
Which I'm just joking. That's why I did not make out. But I mean, we were like in a car together. We had spent like, the last couple of days together. So it's like if one of us was going to get it, which Brent had already had it anyways at that point. But yeah, at some point, I just remember her yelling, "Excuse me! Excuse me!" I'm like, what? She's like, "Mask!" And she just keeps going.
Where was this?
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just so funny. I'm like, okay, whatever. I pulled it up. I go towards like the back of the store. We're still far away from her. At this point, I keep like glancing over, and I can see her like watching me everywhere I go. And at some point, I guess, the mask pulled itself down again. I honestly did not actually pull it down. It just happened.
It was happening while we were talking because it was like wrapped around your face. It just
moves
happens.
around, and it's going to like dislodge itself, right? So, anyways, at this point, she's like, "Sir, if you're going to be in the store, you're going to pull up your mask." I'm like, "Lady, I'm 20 feet away from you. Like, calm down, right? Just calm your shit." Right? And she's just like, "No, if you want to be in your store, you gotta cover your nostrils." I'm like, you know what? Your store sucks anyways. Like, I'm out of here. Right? And I'm just like, oh man, I don't even remember anymore. I'm just like, Brent was so embarrassed because he doesn't like conflict.
Come back
right?
here after this.
No, he definitely doesn't have to come back there because I don't think he ever went back. It's just like a soda store. Like how do you even stay in business just selling like pot or soda or whatever? Right? Like, I don't know. Kind of crazy. Yeah, there was some other news. Apparently, have you guys been following like the J6 stuff?
Oh, what?
The January 6th?
Some of the footage.
Yeah. So apparently they've released more footage.
Yeah.
Which obviously shows that they've...
Hold on, what is this? What's January 6th?
Okay, so January 6th, for those that don't know,
what do you call it?
Is...
insurrection,
the
quote,
insurrection of the United States of America. Do you remember when they broke into the Capitol building?
Yeah.
It was January 6th,
that was that.
2021.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
right?
what okay, so they're talking about a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So they've been holding out, people have been asking for all of the footage. So what we do know is that, yes, some people did some stupid stuff by breaking windows, actually actively trying to break into the building. Over the last little while, and I knew a lot of this already because I had watched a lot of the footage that was recorded, I believe, through InfoWars, which is Alex Jones's website or whatever, or media company or whatever, which is kind of funny because he's always called like the crazy conspiracy nut or whatever. He's just nuts. He's illegitimate. And it was like, no. I remember because he showed, because he had a lot of people on the ground. Owen Schroyer was there. He was there yelling on the megaphone to tell people not to go into the building, that it was a trap. Yeah, right. Well. As it turns out, he was right about everything, as he usually is. And if you were to put $5 in a jar every time Alex Jones is right, you'd be rich, right? That's what some people would say. Probably not that true, but in this particular case, I remember watching a lot of the footage and realizing that a lot of these people were literally just walking around, being super respectful, making sure nothing was getting damaged. Because I mean, you have like famous, like, you know, artwork and statues and you know, everything that represents the United States government over the last 250 some odd years or whatever. But yeah, apparently they've been releasing more and more of the footage, which is outright proving that majority of the people who showed up were either let in by the police and then shown around the building, right? As if they were like on a tour. Like, look at this. Like, this is... They're like, come on in. Enter this way. Please stay in a single file line.
I think at that point, they just knew they were so outnumbered, it's not worth the fight.
But they opened the doors.
Right.
That's the thing. They never had to let them in. Majority of these people were never going to barge their way in to begin with. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just interesting now that it took so long to get all this, but the truth is kind of slowly coming out.
There's still people serving time for that.
No? Oh yeah. There's people who literally, what you would probably classify as like a trespass at this point, and they've been in jail since 2021.
Wow.
What's the guy's name with the horns? He put his feet up on not Pelosi's desk in the actual house. What the hell was his name again?
I don't remember his actual name, but he was the monk or whatever. Yeah.
He's still locked up, right? Or no?
No, he was out at one point. I remember that. But I think he's back in jail for a period of time. The other guy too, the lectern guy, I know he was in jail for quite some time. The guy who, like, he was famous for holding the lectern and he was smiling or whatever. I've seen him on a few podcasts. I know he's out, but he served some time. He had to fight. Like, he had to hire lawyers, and it was pretty bad. Sure. Yeah. So, but it just kind of proves that, like, a lot of these people, it's like, dude, like, fine them, like, for going in the building, whatever. Give them, I mean, what they deserve. If you either broke in, damaged something, you deserve to be punished for that, right? You threatened somebody, you deserve to be punished for that. But the people who were literally just let in by the cops, shown around as if they were on a freaking tour, as the footage clearly is showing us. You don't have people running through and damaging. No, they're just literally like, oh, look at that. Oh, look, painting. Cool. Oh, whose office is that? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Nobody touch or break anything. Like, that's literally what was going on the entire time. I don't know. It's just crazy. I think a lot of times they just do this stuff, obviously, to teach people a lesson. Just like, for example, do you remember when I mentioned that I got fined when I came in because I didn't want to get the COVID tests when I came back to Canada?
Crossing the border, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to, it's really funny because on both counts, I had to just simply plead guilty at a $0 fine.
At the trial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't even really like a trial. It was just, I spoke to the prosecutor for a second and they're like, oh, okay, our things have kind of changed. I'm like, oh, that's funny because it wasn't like this a year ago when I spoke to you and I was telling you that, no, I'm not paying it, because she was like, oh, you need just plead and then just take $1,000 fine. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you a penny, right? I'd rather go to trial and fight my way through it and find out what happens, right? Yeah, it was all just a scare tactic. Yeah, they bluffed. I called their bluff, and I paid $0, right? And the only reason they were trying to find me was because I came in without any test results tests or whatever, right? So it was so stupid. But yeah, that's just the way the government works. Man, I'm just like a mess today. Everything's kind of all over the place.
If I had my laptop.
I know. Oh yeah, so so we're talking about how they reverse the bills. I know. We need your laptop. You're making me do everything, pushing the buttons and
Pushing the buttons.
I am. I'm pushing the literal buttons.
What's Trudeau's biggest lie ever told? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling that up now.
I'm also looking at the Google Docs. I just can't do anything with it. I'm just looking at it on my phone.
He has no control. Okay.
We see signs of a stalling economy, as well as many people are still struggling financially. Can your government exercise fiscal restraint at such a time? What are those challenges?
Well, first of all, we are a government that has always exercised fiscal restraint.
We see signs of
When? When? At what point in time did his government use fiscal restraint?
I don't know.
When?
Maybe in his dreams.
Maybe. Well, I mean, if you believe that economics just kind of finds a way.
The budget balance.
Exactly. The budget balances
The budget
itself.
will balance itself.
If you believe that, then yes, everything is fine.
I just got nauseous. Don't put his face on the screen.
I thought you loved him.
No.
No.
No, we're good.
No.
We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just like Joe Biden. He's just constantly printing money and just kind of doing whatever.
Sending it to Ukraine.
Yeah, sending it everywhere else but here. It's a shame, and it's like I don't disagree with helping Ukraine a little bit, but like, look at East Hastings Street.
I was just gonna say that.
He was in Vancouver a few days ago, and he
Yeah.
got I wouldn't say chased, but he had to get security and 150 cops to escort him out of
For
a
what?
restaurant in Vancouver. He was eating in Vancouver a couple days ago, and
Oh,
a whole
and
bunch of
people were yelling at him
protesters
to
surrounded his
cease fire.
table, and
Yeah.
they had to take him out.
I don't know that I don't agree with. Like if
Right.
somebody's just having dinner, like if they're with their family
Yeah.
or whatever, but it's like it's complicated because at the same time it's like at what point do you really get to voice your opinion when you actually see these people in person? Probably never, right?
Yeah.
So
But what
I
these
don't
people
know.
need to realize, whatever group it was, I don't remember what they were protesting about.
I think they were like the pro-Palestine people, right?
These
I think that's what it
politicians
was.
don't care.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You
don't give a shit about
protesting
us.
while he's eating dinner with his family, if anything, is going to piss him off even more.
Yeah.
You're not solving anything.
I mean, that's the reason, supposedly, why Jagmeet Singh is still around is because he wants his full pension. But in reality, what did Jagmeet Singh do? Nothing. He hasn't accomplished anything. Meanwhile, all he does is he uses the same speaking points as the Liberal Party, goes completely against anything that the Conservatives do, which their policies are significantly better, not perfect, but significantly better than what we probably already have right now. Our incredibly high taxes. Like what's the best way? They keep saying the same thing. Like, oh, in order to solve our problem, we'll just increase taxes, right? And it's like, no, dude, that's the reason why we're in these problems is because you've already taken away all the money people have. You've increased everything else, made everything so expensive that people can't afford to live anymore, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, dude, I don't understand people who make like $2,000-$3,000 a month. I don't know how they do it. I have no idea, right? Like, that's insanity to me at this point. So, like, as a single person making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, how do you survive?
Yeah, if you're by yourself, it's
Right.
hard for sure.
Like, are you sucking on ketchup packets that you're stealing from McDonald's
Listen,
or something?
I saw something today about Heinz is sponsoring in Toronto. Oh, man. The marathon or something to do with runners, and they're giving them
Okay.
ketchup packets. I'm not even joking, to suck on because it's a good replacement of carbs.
Oh my god.
So there's this commercial of these runners in
Is this
Toronto.
real?
I swear to God, you gotta look it up. Sucking on ketchup packets. I'm not making it up, man. You gotta find it.
Heinz.
You're gonna go to the gym. You're gonna see guys gargling ketchup.
Heinz Toronto. What am I looking for? Marathon?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my God. Here claims that runners are refueling with ketchup packets.
Yes.
Out of gels, Heinz ketchup packets can be your new alternative.
And there's spots along the run
Yeah.
that they can stop, different restaurants and venues that they have ketchup there, packets ready for the runners.
People are probably handing them to them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a big publicity stunt for Heinz.
You found it?
I found Heinz Canada's Instagram, and the caption is, "We're dropping keystone-shaped roots in running apps, so runners can always find their favorite ketchup."
Yeah.
Huh.
What a marketing, eh? What a marketing.
So if you look at this, if I could, the video is showing literally the running app, and on the map is the shape of the Heinz ketchup symbol.
Yeah,
this is where you can find ketchup around your run.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That's
a
amazing.
great marketing team they have.
Yeah. Except that
Jeez.
they screwed themselves over in Canada when they stopped using Ontario tomatoes.
Yeah, you remember that? That was the first time I ever bought French's mustard and ketchup.
Yeah. Because I think it was they were the only ones that were. What did they do? They switched over to Ontario tomatoes or something, or were they already using
French's
that?
is Canadian, isn't it?
I guess.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think they are.
Yeah. Well, Heinz was originally from Pittsburgh, so
Right.
I know that much because I've seen the building like so many times as I drove through. So I don't like blame them or anything. They're
So
not
if
even
you-
really a Canadian company, Heinz. So it's like, why would they support Ontario
If you
tomatoes?
travel to Toronto and you wonder why there's people jogging on the streets sucking on ketchup packets,
Or why there's
It's
random
because
ketchup packets everywhere all
weird.
over the ground.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of really good marketing, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. So there was this lady, her car caught on fire. And she had like one of those.
Oh, I saw
mugs.
that today.
You saw that,
Yeah.
right? So what was it? Her mug, like
The
one of
Stanley
these.
mug?
It was like one of these, not
That's
the
right.
same brand.
Yes, this is Stanley mug.
Stanley's the
Stanley
brand.
Like going
yeah.
viral right now.
Yeah. So her car caught on fire, and her cup was, or mug, whatever,
Yeah.
was still in one piece. And she goes like this. She's like, "There's still ice in there."
The damn car burned down.
Yeah.
The mug is sitting there. The
Yeah.
plastic straw inside is not melted either.
Yeah. And
What a trip.
the CEO or president or whoever he was, right away, as a marketing ploy, which was brilliant on his part, was like, "Oh, we will replace your cup and we will buy you a new car."
Oof.
Right. So of course,
Take advantage of the
gaining all
situation.
sorts of traction. But
Yes.
I mean, why blame them?
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like it looks really good on your company. Like your
But
product.
have you
clearly
seen one of
works.
these mugs, bro?
No.
They're like this big.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
like
those ones. Yeah.
wide.
Okay.
They're huge,
Yeah.
but the bottom is just thin enough that it fits in your cup holder in the
Ah.
car.
Well, that's smart though.
Yeah.
Because like the way this one is designed, it's great. Like it works really well. But you can't fit this in your cup holder. There's no
Right.
way. So it's like rolling around the floor on the passenger side, or I leave it on the passenger seat. But I mean, if there's somebody there, I'm just like, I leave it between somebody's legs. So every time I reach over, I'm just like,
Unreal.
"Oh, excuse me, Mike.
Don't mind
Oh,
my reach.
excuse me."
Okay. No problem.
So
First world problems.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for today. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? Gonna go get some ketchup after this.
We're going to go grab some ketchup. Then we're going to go for a jog. And then we're going to puke the ketchup up.
Nice.
That's what's going to happen.
Hell yeah. But the world is slowly falling apart. But stay positive and
And stay subscribed to the Brave Podcast
course.
on YouTube
Of
and
course.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and God damn it. Bold butter rumble. Bold
I was going to say
butter.
Bumble.
Yeah.
See,
Tuna.
he's thrown off because he doesn't have his laptop in front of him. If he had his laptop in front of him, he would have had everything.
I'm gonna make a script.
Yeah, he's gonna just write point. But all right, guys.
We
Thanks for-
should sign off the same way we signed on by doing it ASMR style.
Okay, that's true.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening.
Is this working? All right, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Again, you're our most in demand and most seen guest so far.
Yes.
So, sorry. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button for those at home. I don't know if you can even hear this at all, but yeah. And subscribe, turn notifications on, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye.